So I figured it was a good time to give an update as far as SCDS and where I'm at in this whole journey. I had the balance test done on July 14th, and it's been almost a month since I had the balance test done. I'm still waiting to hear back about the results from that. I did email the nurse over there at the testing center and asked where they were at as far as the test results, and she said that it takes a while for them to put the results together and get them signed off by the provider, but as soon as they get that done, they'll get that to my doctor. I'm just still like looking every day, logging on, hoping that those results are there so that we can move forward to the next step. As far as symptoms go, I feel like my symptoms are just getting worse. I don't know if they're getting worse or if it just feels like it right now. The past few days, the dizziness and vertigo have been really out of control. Like, I normally feel like I'm on a cruise ship or a boat anyway, but for like the past few days, that boat has been rocking a lot more, and I just feel like I'm constantly just spinning. The room was spinning, and this morning it was so bad. I woke up and like every time I turn my head, I feel so much vertigo or a blank or anything. Just move my eyes, it would just make me feel so dizzy, and then I start feeling nauseous, and it was just so overwhelming this morning that all I could do was just sit there and just cry, because it just was, it gets really frustrating, and it's really hard to deal with sometimes. It's just, some days are better than others, but as far as the dizziness goes, having that feeling all day, it's not fun. And even when I'm not doing anything, like, so I called off from work because there was no way that I could sit at a computer and work, because I couldn't even like scroll through my phone or watch TV or keep my eyes open, because that made me feel even worse. But laying down in bed, I was still feeling dizzy, and like so I have my sleeping mask on to just block out all the light, just to try to tone down on the dizziness. So maybe like if the visuals aren't there, then I won't feel as dizzy, but I still feel dizzy. And like every 5 minutes I have this feeling like you're on a drop on a roller coaster, or like you're on an elevator that just drops suddenly, like the Tower of Terror. And it's been making me nauseous. And I had a really bad migraine when I was trying to sleep last night, and I knew that I was gonna wake up and not feel that great today. The doctor gave me topiramate, which is an anti-migraine medication to try to keep the migraines at bay, and it has decreased them, but they're still there, and it still gets really painful some days. I haven't been sleeping very well lately. I hear my eye movements, but also at night when I'm going to bed, hearing my pulse and my heartbeat in my ear, that gets magnified, and it's not only like hearing it, but I feel it in my ear too, and it's really uncomfortable. I mean, it's painful. It's not painful like if somebody was like punching me in the ear or something, but it's painful as far as like, you know, if there's like nails on a chalkboard or something, like something that hurts your ear. It's uncomfortable, and it's hard to deal with, and it's really hard to sleep at night. And the past week I woke up a lot throughout the night. I did not get a whole lot of sleep throughout the night. So Friday I had a glass of red wine, and I took sleeping pills. And I don't really like to take sleeping pills too much. I don't want to resort to that, but at this point I'm just thinking my body needs sleep. I need sleep for not just physically, but for mentally and emotionally. So if that's the only way that I can get sleep at night, then so be it. But even with the sleeping pills, I was not able to stay asleep. I was waking up all throughout the night, and I feel like I probably got maybe 3 hours of sleep that night, and which just, you know, contributes to more of the headache and more of the fatigue. And some days it just feels very overwhelming, and today was one of those days. Like, I feel like I can hold it together some days and just deal with all the symptoms, and then there's a day where it just gets to be too much, and especially with the dizziness. As dizzy as I was feeling today, constantly, like I was on a roller coaster or on some kind of merry-go-round, or what do you call those? Yeah, merry-go-round. It was just not fun, and so I was feeling very nauseous all day. And I mean, I ate a little bit of breakfast, but I wasn't really able to eat lunch. I had like a bag of Skinny Pop popcorn and some seltzer water to try to soothe my stomach, but that constant feeling of vertigo and dizziness just still, like, it makes me feel sick. And it was a really rough day. The brain fog, the brain fog feels like it's a lot magnified too. That's why I have trouble just speaking and holding good conversations, and in the middle of a sentence I just will forget what I'm saying or forget the next word that I was about to say. It's hard to explain. It's just I'll be talking and like dead in the middle of a sentence, just completely forget what the next thing that I was going to say was. And it makes it really hard for me to get through stories and have a really good conversation with people. And I've had people fill in words for me, like if I have a pause in my speech or in my conversation, they'll fill in the word. I've seen other people do that to me because of this. I guess it's kind of like a form of a stutter, but the memory loss, it gets really frustrating. Like, I hear myself and I think, oh my gosh, how can anybody stand to talk to me? And it gets really frustrating. And I still struggle mentally and emotionally because I still have a tendency to want to tell myself it could be worse. You know, other people have it way worse. So I feel bad for feeling bad, or I feel guilty for feeling bad. That just invalidates your feelings. And I read something online the other day that said, telling somebody who is struggling that it could be worse is the same as telling somebody who's happy that it could be better. And it was something that I needed to read, because as somebody who struggled with that, I get so hard on myself all the time, and I end up invalidating my feelings. But you know, you're feeling a certain way. Those feelings are valid. Those feelings are there. I have to acknowledge them and let myself feel them. I've been struggling a little bit more lately because of all of this. I feel like most days I don't want to do anything. I feel so unmotivated and so lethargic, like, just because I feel so tired and so exhausted all the time. I look forward to when I go swimming, and I love that I have swimming and that I can go swimming. But when my body feels like this, I really did want to go swimming today, but there's no way I would feel comfortable with driving to the pool right now, or just being out when I feel as dizzy as I do. So I know that there's days when my body is just gonna say no to me, and I have to be okay with that. That's something that I've struggled with in the past, just wanting to do things even though my body tells me no, and getting frustrated because my body's telling me no. So I get angry at my body. I get frustrated with my body because I feel like it's failing me or it's betraying me sometimes. But it's important to try to care for yourself. Sometimes I have to let myself cry. I have to let myself just lay down and do nothing because that's what my body's telling me it wants to do. I have to let myself rest. I have to give myself some time to heal. It can be really difficult for me to reach out and tell people when I'm not feeling okay or if I'm struggling. But like I said in my video about anxiety, it is important that I'm being honest, because if I keep all of this just inside and keep it all to myself, it's just gonna fester up and it's gonna make things so much worse. Being vulnerable can be uncomfortable for me. I'm one of these people that feel like I just want to have everything in control, and I want to present myself as somebody who can deal with my own struggles without asking for help, just be able to do it all on my own. But we can't do things all by ourselves all the time. There are times when we do need to ask for help, and it doesn't make you weak to feel like you need to ask for help. Bad days are okay. It's okay that I'm feeling this way. I mean, I have this condition. I can't control what my body is feeling physically. And yes, there are people out there struggling with all kinds of things, but that doesn't mean that I'm not struggling in my own way and that I shouldn't be feeling the way that I'm feeling. That's what I've been just trying to focus on during this time while these symptoms are just feeling so much worse. I'm really, really thankful that I found the SCDS group on Facebook, because it's really helpful to see that there's so many people on there that feel the same way that I do, and I'm not alone in this. Like, this is not just something that's wrong with me. This is not just something that I'm dealing with on my own. And this is something that many people in the Facebook group have talked about and are struggling with. So it helps just to kind of like make so much more sense of everything and just feel just less alone in my struggles. So at this point, I'm just trying to take it easy and trying to just let my body rest when it needs to. Try not to do anything that might elevate my symptoms. Wearing my earplug throughout the day. Just letting myself lay down and not feeling bad about it. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. If you'd like to follow me on my SCDS journey, feel free to give me a like or subscribe, and hopefully I'll be reporting back soon on the next steps and surgery dates, and that my symptoms are getting better. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.